Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. Coming up, we got a special guest. Guess who we're going to talk to today?
Who's that?
Let me check. I know I got somebody. Oh, going to talk to Janine Shepherd, and she's got a book called A Broken Body is Not a Broken Person. And she was in an accident and has moved forward and done some amazing things. So we're going to be hearing from her, learning a little bit about that. You ready for a quote?
Absolutely.
We've got two, one for Saturday, one for Sunday. The Saturday quote is, if you aren't going all the way, why go at all? Joe Namath.
That's what my high school boyfriend said.
Heidi. And then the Sunday Mother's Day quote, an ounce of mother is worth a pound of clergy. Rudyard Kipling said that. There you go. Happy Mother's Day out there to all of those mothers that are listening. We got some special things going on this weekend. We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is, since it's the weekend, we got Saturday and Sunday. So let's start with Saturday. Armed Forces Day, Cross-Band Military Amateur Radio Communication Test Day. It's a long one. American Indian Day, Babysitter's Day, Bereaved Mother's Day, Birth Mother's Day, Children of Fallen Patriots Day, Cornelia Day Lang Syndrome Awareness Day, Crouton Day. Let's kind of throw that one in there. Crouton. I never really thought they had a day, but today's their day. Jumping Frog Day, International Migratory Bird Day, Letter Carrier Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive Day. Then, it goes on. Hummus Day, Mother Ocean
Holy
Day,
cow.
National Archery Day, National Babysitter's Day, National Miniature Golf Day, National Windmill Day, Stay Up All Night Day, World Belly Dance Day, World Migratory Bird Day, and World Fair Trade Day. All of that Saturday. Sunday, Mother's Day, National Chicken Dance Day, Spring Astrology Day, the United States Stars and Stripes Forever Day, and Underground America Day. All of that going on this weekend. It's a busy weekend.
I guess so.
I'm going to celebrate Mother's Day. Pretty much only Mother's Day.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. I can't wait to see what Heidi says about this.
Okay.
Here's the question. If you write a bad check to pay for your car insurance, should you still be covered if you get into an accident? Even though, you wrote a bad check for it. Since you did write the check for it, should you still be covered? Or should they say, well, it wasn't paid, so you don't have coverage? What do you think?
I guess it depends on whether it was maliciously a bad check or not. I mean, if these people had 30 bounce checks, that's different than if the car insurance check got bounced because there was $1 under in the account or something,
So you're saying intent makes a difference?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, according to the West Virginia Supreme Court, they say, yes, you still have coverage. Back in 2001 is when this happened. Stephanie Conley gave an agent for West Virginia National Insurance Company a $174 check on August the 15th for automobile coverage. She then received an issued policy on August 30th with the effective coverage date starting August 15th. On August 31st, however, she was in a collision resulting in her negligence. By then, by the way, her $174 check had bounced and the company considered the policy null and void. But the West Virginia Supreme Court ruled that she was nonetheless covered on August 31st because the company had not given her 10 days cancellation notice.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say anything about intent, but they're saying, according to your own policies, you need to give them 10 days coverage or cancellation notice. So there you go. That's interesting. Just thought that was kind of a fun one. That's from way back when, 2001. That's when our daughter was born. She's going to be 16 next month.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Coming up, we've got more fun stuff, but this one here, it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Jose Dons was on his way into Manhattan behind the wheel of a Dodge Intrepid, and he might have made it if his temporary registration tag on the car window had not been expired. Jose might have overcome that little obstacle had he had some sort of proof that he actually owned the vehicle and he hadn't, been driving a stolen one. And the fact that he was using stolen license plates didn't help. Those little matters might not have helped the fact that he was transporting $6 million in cocaine as well. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you're going to transport $6 million in cocaine, don't do it in a stolen vehicle with
Make
stolen
sure you
tags
got
off a different vehicle. He was busted
Why
for
raise
drug
red
possession.
flags?
Yeah, and he was driving with expired stolen plates. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're going to steal plates that aren't expired. Again, not trying to give criminals any ideas, but once again, I'm pretty
You
sure.
would think that's a common sense one, though.
Well, you'd think so, but apparently not. We've got your moment of duh on the way.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. 15-year-old Luke Porto is a freshman at Father Lopez High School in Port Orange, Florida. He bit into a milk dud, didn't really like the taste of it, so he threw it out the window. Well, that was the problem. Not only was he littering, but he was trying to make his 4-year-old brother laugh. That's why he's like, oh, I don't like it. He chucked it out the window, but it's spawned a chain of events that could land him in juvenile court.
What?
Well, Diane Behrings claims this milk dud hit her windshield and cracked it, which I think must be a hard milk dud if that happened. Cost $250 in damages.
Or they were if they're on the interstate going like 80 miles an hour.
Could be. Anyway, at first, she offered to accept a $12 car wash and an apology, but the teen had a bad attitude and was being very not nice, we'll say that, and she decided, well, then I guess we'll press charges whatever the fullest extent can be. She said, I didn't want money. I wanted a little remorse. Well, now Luke gets to go to court. He could be required to pay for damages, write a letter of apology, and perform community service. If he would have just been nice on the side of the road, it would have literally been a $12 car wash.
What would the car wash have done for her cracked windshield?
I don't know. Just cleaned the gunk off the windshield, I suppose. She was trying to be nice, but it turned into not such a nice situation. So there you go. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day for this weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. Heidi, have you ever heard the phrase, losing your marbles? Usually if
Yes.
somebody's lost their marbles, that means they went crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well, this guy lost his marbles, but these were real marbles. An Indiana truck driver lost 38,000 pounds of marbles. His truck lost its trailer, and the load of marbles spread all over the shoulder and the median of the road. Can you imagine what a mess
What a
that would be?
mess.
Now,
And dangerous.
yeah, because I suppose that'd be slippery and, cars sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, one would think that one spilled trailer of marbles story would be enough for the day, right?
You would think.
How could it get better than that? What if they were Skittles? Yeah, this also happened. This one happened in January. That other one happened shortly thereafter.
The
But
Skittles would have been in packages.
take a listen to this. In January, a rain-soaked box was on a flatbed pickup truck, and it ripped open in Wisconsin, coating a stretch of highway with hundreds of thousands of red Skittles. So
What?
somebody had a giant box of red Skittles in the back of a truck in a flatbed in a cardboard box. Here's a question.
This sounds like something our son would have
Yeah,
done.
I could see him do that too. What are you guys doing? Well, we were going to a party. They said to bring something to share. We thought, how about red Skittles? We spent
What
a
do they do
whole
with the
year.
rest of the
I don't know.
Skittles?
Spent a whole year getting just the red ones.
That's awesome.
Anyway, new research says doctors think they may be cutting the umbilical cord too soon.
All right, what? Are you supposed to carry the kid around attached to you for 2-3 years?
I don't know how long they're thinking they should wait. Too soon? I think there are some people who they've got 12-year-olds that still have the umbilical cord attached. Okay, maybe not. Hey, women wearing man's clothing can be sexy, like a button-down dress shirt that she wears, instead of a nightgown. Well, now, supposedly, women are wearing men's underwear. Yeah. Department stores like Mark and Spencer, they say the barometer of underwear in the UK, there are now more women buying men's underwear than men. Now, it can't be confirmed how many of the girls are buying them for their guy. They don't know that in particular, but they do know that there is one specific line of boxers that is going out the door that is supposedly just for women. Even though it's men's underwear, they started making them so they fit women really nice. So, do you want to wear my underwear, baby?
Not even a little bit.
I don't even want to wear my underwear. Got holes in them, and I'm not easy on underwear, am I?
Not even a little bit.
I don't know what's going on there. Hey, according to new research, that's probably a little too much information for most. According to new research, listening to music at work actually makes you better at your job. The study found that workers performed their task better if they were listening to music. More than 80% of those involved in the study had more accurate test results, and they worked faster if they had some music that they were grooving to. However, it should be noted that the study was conducted on behalf of several music licensing companies, so the people behind the research definitely had a little stake in the results.
Oh, yeah,
so,
of course.
Keep that in mind. Hey, more than half of U.S. employees say they take business calls or check their work emails on vacation. The convenience of laptops and mobile devices have made vacation time turn into work time so much easier. Researchers say there is such a thing as too much work, and it is necessary that we simply unplug from the office once in a while. So they're saying next time you're on vacation, have a wink accident with your phone. Sorry about that, boss. Couldn't answer for 4 days. I forgot my charger or something. And one final story. A new study indicates that grapefruit can help dieters lose weight. And I don't know.
This is a new study.
Well,
we did this diet
8 years ago.
No, it was
10
more
years
than
ago?
that because it was before Taylor was born.
Oh, so then it would be like 17 years ago. Well, they say it's a good way of controlling blood sugar levels. Research from the University of California, Berkeley found that mice that drank grapefruit juice while eating a high-fat diet for 3 months gained 18% less weight than a controlled group that had water. In addition, the mice that ate the grapefruit also had improved levels of glucose and insulin. So those lucky little mice, they always get to try all the good stuff. I'm not a big fan of grapefruit, honestly.
I like grapefruit juice.
Oh, I couldn't handle it.
Especially with vodka.
For me, that doesn't really help the diet, though, does it?
I don't know.
All right.
Didn't do that study.
Yeah. Drunken mice falling off their little thing, staggering around their little tubes. All right. Coming up, we've got a special guest, and we have some fun facts for you in a bit.
John and Heidi.
80s in the Sand will be happening this November in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic.
And that'll be here before you know it.
Join us and have a blast with 80s in the Sand.
An all-inclusive vacation with some of the greatest bands of the 80s.
Plus, you can meet some 80s icons from the movies and television as well.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website is 80sinthesand.com.
Book your week-long 80s vacation now at 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us today with quite a story. We're going to be visiting with Janine Shepherd, author of a book called Defiant, A Broken Body is Not a Broken Person. Janine, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks, John. How are you?
Very good. I could listen to you talk all day. I love your accent. Before we went on, I asked her where she was from, and I'll give everybody the clue. You're from down under, from Australia. So how do you live in the United States now, or are you still in Australia?
No, I live in Wyoming, actually. I live in a small cabin in the wilderness in Wyoming.
Wow. Now, how does that compare, Wyoming, compared to Australia? Is it similar, or is it completely different?
Oh, completely different. I mean, this is just an extraordinary part of the world. So I get the benefit of living in both countries, so it's wonderful.
Far fewer kangaroos in Wyoming, from what I've been told.
No, I'm surrounded by bears and moose.
There you go. That's completely different. So let's talk about this book, Defiant, A Broken Body is Not a Broken Person. Let's talk about the story that is behind the book. How did this book come about?
Well, I've written many books in Australia, and this is my first book in America, and I wrote this to really bring everybody that's read my previous books up to date with where I am now in my life, as well as introducing my story to America and the world stage. So I have a extraordinary life story, and that's what the book really is about, that and everything that's happened since.
Nice. Now let's talk about that life story. What is that for people that are not familiar?
Well, it's such a big story, but the cliff notes are, I was an athlete. I was in the Australian ski team, which people find extraordinary because, yes, we do have snow in Australia. I was a cross-country skier. Training for the 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary. I was on a training bike ride, and I was with my fellow teammates. I was run over by a truck and suffered extensive and life-threatening injuries. Some of those are I broke my neck and my back in 6 places, 5 ribs on my left side, my right arm, my right collarbone, bones with my feet, head injuries, internal injuries, massive blood loss. They didn't think I wasn't meant to survive. They didn't think I'd survive at the scene of the accident. But I actually have no recollection. I had what I call my death experience, not my near-death. I actually left my body, and for 10 days I drifted in and out of my body, trying to decide whether I would go back because, I had such devastating injuries. I did come back to my body, a body that was broken, and I needed major spinal surgery to mend my back. And I spent almost 6 months flat on my back in a spinal ward, got out in a wheelchair, a plaster body cast attached to a catheter bottle, and I was told that I'd never be able to do the things I did before. I'd have to rethink my life, and you can imagine, it was devastating. I was an athlete going to the Olympics, and I got home and felt, completely depressed and wanted to throw everything in, I guess, and wondered why I made the choice to come back to my body. And, I was at rock bottom, and it was that point that I realized that there were 2 choices here, and one was to stay down, or the other was to get up and to say yes to my experience in life, which I did. I had this unwavering belief in the fact that, I think that life has a purpose, and I needed to find out what that was. And so I let go and embraced my disability and my experience, and when I did, my whole life changed. And this is where it gets really interesting, John. I was sitting outside in my wheelchair and my plaster body cast, and an aeroplane flew over. And I looked up and I thought, well, if I can't walk, then maybe I can fly.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Everybody thought it was ridiculous.
No, that's interesting.
So I was... it was crazy, ridiculous, unlikely. I was driven out to an airport and lifted into an aircraft, a light aircraft. I'd never wanted to fly in my life, mind you. And I couldn't use my legs, of course, but I could use my hands. So the instructor gave me a chance to fly the airplane with just using my hands, and it was magical. It was extraordinary. It filled me with so much joy and purpose, and that was it. I decided that's it. I'm going to be a pilot. And as time went on, I gave me the motivation to I did eventually learn to walk again, albeit with a limp, and I still have all of the injuries of a spinal cord patient. So I am a walking paraplegic. But I went on and I learned to fly, and I got my private license. I learned to navigate. I got my unrestricted license. I got my instrument rating, my commercial pilot's license, my instructor rating, my aerobatic rating, and then I found myself back at Bankstown Airport teaching people how to fly upside down in around 18 months after I'd left the spinal ward.
Isn't that amazing? That is just, I think that's absolutely awesome, Janine.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, and it's been an amazing journey, and that's just part of it. The doctor said I wouldn't have children. I went on and had 3 children, and, I've done more since my accident than I ever could have imagined, than any Olympic Games or anything that I would have done in my former life. I've learnt so much from my accident and my experience, and that's what I do now. I write, and I'm on the speaking circuit, and I share that story with other people.
Well, I absolutely love stories like this where, the doctor tells you you're not going to do something and you prove them wrong. And in that case, you're never going to have kids and you proved them wrong 3 times. Does every time you say, well, you're not going to have any more after this one, not anymore after this one?
Yeah, I think I love it when people tell me I can't do something. I go, thank you,
yeah,
and then go and do it anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, our guest right now, Janine Shepherd. She's the author of a book called Defiant, A Broken Body is Not a Broken Person. It's out right now. How long has the book been out? When did this come out?
It's been out just a few months now, so we've sort of staggered it with, releasing it in America and also releasing it in Australia. It's not actually released in Australia yet, so that will come out in the next 1 or 2 months. So, it's really exciting. This is a much different book to the books I've written previously in that, I'm a little older and wiser, I think, but it's more not just what happened, but really how I managed and how I coped emotionally with the events in my life.
Well, and so many people face adversity, and the first thing they do is just give up. And that's the wrong thing to do. You don't want to give up. So I'm so proud of you for not giving up. I'm so proud of you for saying, you know what? You tell me I can't do it, I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to do it anyway. You tell me I can't walk, well, then I'm going to fly. And I'm going to walk, too. That is just absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing this story, and thank you for putting out a book to inspire others who, when they feel down, they can read this and say, you know what? There's hope for me. She was able to do this. If she did it, I can do this too. I just have to try.
Absolutely. I think, there's an incredible amount of hope that comes from looking at other people and people might have seen my TED Talk. I have a TED Talk out called A Broken Body Isn't a Broken Person, and that's at almost 2 million views now. And I get so many emails and letters from people that have seen that. And I always say that it just, people can see that another person has done it. They realize that, they can do it too. They have that defiant human spirit, and anything is possible.
Well, it's going to have 2,000,001 as soon as we get off the phone. I'm going to go check that out. So thank you so much for sharing with us. The book, Thanks. Defiant, A Broken Body is Not a Broken Person. It's available right now. Our guest has been Janine Shepherd. Again, Janine, thank you so much for everything you're doing right now to help others.
Thank you, John, and have a great day.
Again, our guest, Janine Shepherd. The book, Defiant, A Broken Body is Not a Broken Person. It's available right now. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just 1 or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever, or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The ad slogan for the lava lamp was, an emotion for every emotion. Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
I wonder if it was supposed to be an emotion for every emotion. Maybe I have that typed wrong. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The birthstone for September is the sapphire. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Mosquitoes. That is the animal that's responsible for the most human deaths worldwide. So
I can see that.
You may be afraid of, sharks and tigers and snakes and lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. But be afraid, deathly afraid of mosquitoes. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the NFL, for more than 80 years, the New York Giants have had a lot of different nicknames. You know what one of them was?
What's that?
G-Men. How do you get... Oh, I suppose, from New York
Giants.
Yeah, G-Men. That makes sense then. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are more television sets here in the United States than there are people in Japan. So we get a lot of televisions here. More televisions in the U.S. than they have people in Japan. There you go. A couple of fun facts for you here.
You suppose the Giant Stadium was called the G-Spot?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nice try.
I bet some people did.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Couple of fun facts and some ridiculousness here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Have you thought of starting a home-based business but didn't like the idea of calling family and friends? This top-quality fitness and health products company lets you take advantage of their advertising power to reach people who wish to add a few hundred or a few $1,000s a week to their income by following a simple system. Plus, everyone who joins the team after you benefits you as well. To learn more about how you can leverage your time to help others get healthy and create wealth from home, call Scott Smith at 866-741-7242. That's 866-741-7242.
John and Heidi.
Would you like a raise, Heidi?
Yes.
Do you think people listening would like a raise?
I think everybody would like a
Well,
raise.
take a listen for the next 2 minutes, and I'll see what I can do to help. It says, no employer in the history of the world has ever asked an employee, hey, would you like a raise? If they did, we'd probably drop dead. No, we have to ask for it. We have to fight for it. We have to convince them. We have to claw our way to the top.
That's not true. There are some employers that just will say,
good job.
It's a job well done. I'm giving you a raise.
Okay, but they don't ask you. They just give it to you.
Right.
And they say, would you like a raise?
Because nobody's going to say no.
Well, some people might. Anyway, here is how not to ask for a raise. First of all, don't ever threaten to quit. You may give your boss the opening to say, okay, you know what? That's fine. See you later. Toodaloo.
Yeah, unless you have something lined up already.
Yeah,
I wouldn't use that.
And also, don't say, I should be paid the same as good old Bob. Well, maybe you don't have the same education or experience as good old Bob. There's probably a reason there's a difference, so be careful about that. Next, don't go for overkill. If you're meeting the boss to have a conversation about your pay, try not to make a PowerPoint presentation. Just, talk to him about it and then move on. Next, don't tell the boss why you need more money. Everybody has unexpected expenses. Saying things like, well, the price of an extra value meal's gone up, Mr. Williams or whoever it would be, Mrs. Jones.
Yeah, everybody has problems, even your boss. They really don't care.
Next, it says, don't stomp your feet and pound the desk. Definitely don't cry. And the person who typed this says, I've tried all of those and they don't work. Well, thank you for the honesty. And then finally, it says, don't get personal. Saying things like, if you ever want to see your dog again, you'll give me a raise. Otherwise, Muffy gets it. Don't do stuff like that. That's not only, you're not going to get a raise, and you may get fired, and you may get arrested.
That's called ransom. That's not a raise.
Extortion. Why'd you give Mike a raise? Because he tried killing my dog. I had to give him a raise. Then everybody in the office is going to try killing the dog.
That is fantastic.
I mean, it's just going to get nasty. Yeah, don't do any of those things. So they're saying, I think that was kind of a waste of 2 minutes right there.
Pretty much.
Who's going to do any of that stuff? The only one is the whole threatening to quit. I need a raise or I'm going to go. That's the only one. Everything else on there was just common sense. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
We were just talking about how not to get a raise, and this story happens to be about somebody who was looking for a job. So we kind of got a little bit of a theme going here, don't we?
Okay.
Nick Lovegrove was hunting for a job in the classifieds when he came across the opening for a really interesting job, but it had a unique requirement. It says you have to be dead. The description on the card was very vague, didn't really say what the job was, but it got his attention. And it says, one of the things that was interesting, though, is it says you have to be dead. He confessed, well, I go to almost any length to get my foot in on the right career, but I'm just wondering why they say you have to be dead. So he reached out to find out what this was all about. The ad had a typo. The ad meant to refer to a training opportunity for disabled people, and it contained the initials DEAD when it should have said just DEA, standing for Disability Employment Advisors. So he was wondering, so how about this job? Why do I have to be dead?
So he didn't qualify?
No, he didn't qualify. He wasn't dead either, so... Good news is he's still alive. Bad news is he did not get the job. Coming up, we're going to talk about golf in Germany. This is interesting. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
We're not golfers around here, are we? Do they really say that, by the way? They really shout four?
You yell that if your ball goes astray.
I have been to golf courses all the time for like golf tournaments that I didn't want to be a part of, but I got suckered into. I probably hit balls right at people. I've never shouted for.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Are you really?
Yes.
All those people that I hit with golf balls? Just kidding. I've never hit anybody. I'm not good enough. I mean, even if I wanted to hit somebody, I couldn't. I can't even hit the giant green. That huge target? Not even close. Well, in Germany, you have to actually pass a written test and show your skills at driving to get a license. And I'm not talking about a driver's license. I'm talking about a golf license. Yeah. Before you're allowed to tee off in Germany, you have to pass a written test and show your skills in putting, chipping, and driving.
What?
Yeah. They don't want slow golfers on the course. So they're saying, hey, if you can't pass the test, golf somewhere other than Germany.
Huh.
They might need to lighten up a bit there in Germany. I'm just saying. It's a bit ridiculous.
I kind of think voting should be done the same way.
You got to pass a test
Pass
first.
this test. If you know the answers to these questions, you may vote.
Oh, no. Let's not go down that road. Coming up, we're going to talk about how to save money on coffee. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstone did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
I have not really kept track. Is coffee good for you this week or not? We always get like a story that says coffee is
It's
looking
hard to
amazing
say.
for you. And then the next day or 2 days later, it's like,
Don't drink coffee,
is gonna
you will
kill
die.
you. So I think coffee's okay for you right now. And I've got a headline here that says how to cut costs on your coffee addiction. Top thing, stop ordering specialty drinks. It says latte lovers, listen up. CBS Money Watch points out your $4 daily latte adds up to about $28 a week. That's the equivalent of $120 a month, $1,460 a year.
Wow.
Imagine all the things you could do if you just switched over to regular brew. So they say cut your spending in half. Next, order a smaller size. A lot of people don't finish it anyway because it gets too cool.
Right.
So why are you ordering the
Yeah,
ordering
I
the
always
super-
order the smalls.
I'll take the biggest one you got, and then you dump half of it out. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you should take a smallest one they got.
Yep.
See if that works out for you. Use your own cup. Many coffee shops, large chains, and local independents all up and down the aisle will actually give you a discount. And it's not a huge discount, but 10 cents is what the average is. So it's one way to take off 10 cents a day. I know it doesn't sound like much, but again, if you're doing that every day, I mean, that's like $3 a month, isn't it? 10 times 30? Doing math on the fly on the radio is not good for me. Make your own. This is
Who
the
is
best.
going out for expensive coffee every
A lot of
single
people.
day?
Absolutely a lot of
Even
people.
weekends? Like
Yeah,
every
well,
day.
Yeah, I suppose if that's what your habit is, if that's what you do. We make coffee at our house every day. It says making your own coffee at home is the best way to save money. An analysis done by Daily Finance that pitted a $2.29 grande, which is the medium coffee, against 17-cent brewed at home. You'd save money. $835 a year is how much you'd save.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then the last thing on the list says, just quit drinking coffee. It says if you're really serious about saving, why are you drinking coffee? They say quit drinking coffee. Just switch over to water. It's free. You know what I had the other
If
day?
you're drinking tap water.
I had tea. We were all out of coffee at home.
Mm-hmm.
Opened the cupboard. All of a sudden I started shaking. I was having like these, what's going on?
You're the one who makes the coffee. When
I
you're
know.
out of coffee, let me know so I
I
can
let
buy
you know.
coffee. No, you didn't.
I did too, the day that
The
I
day that you
remembered to let you know. Anyway, I had some tea and it was A-okay. Coming up, we've got some good news. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news, Heidi. We had a similar story, but different, like a week ago. It says each year, more than 800,000 people are released from federal prison and state prison. That's a lot of people every year. An estimated 22% of these people who are released from prison have visible tattoos. Now, often, these tattoos prevent people from finding a job. And that is where San Francisco Bay Area-based nonprofit Jails to Jobs comes in. Guess what they do, Heidi?
What do they do?
This organization has created a training program to teach medical professionals and tattoo artists and others how to create a free or low-cost tattoo removal program to serve the communities in which they operate. So they said, hey, this is a way to get rid of those tattoos that are stopping you from getting a job. Now, we had a story about a guy that was doing like cover-up tattoos for gang-related.
To make them nice.
So this company is saying, we're going to try to remove them. I remember we were at a tattoo shop once, and they had like a gigantic butcher cleaver thing hanging on the wall, and it said tattoo removal 25 cents.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I hope that's just a joke. That does not look sanitary. Yeah, you want to take that tattoo off? Just put it over here on this butcher block. Let me sharpen this thing up. So that's kind of cool that these guys are doing this. Jails to jobs. Now, I wonder if it's just for people who, if you're going to do tattoo removal, wouldn't you do it for everybody?
Well, only people that get it for free would probably be the...
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm sure they do offer to others as well, but you have to pay for it.
Free or low-cost tattoo removal. Okay, so there you go. So they probably do charge others, because I know people who've gotten tattoos and then later were like, oh man, why did I get that?
Right.
Why did I get that thing tattooed on me? And if you want to get a tattoo removed, I've been told that it's very painful. Mm-hmm. And I've never had a tattoo removed, so I don't know.
I haven't either.
Yeah, because all the ones I have, I'm going to keep. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you'd like to read this entire story, I've got it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.